What's up, YouTube? It's time for another one of Powerpuff 97's MLP Reviews. Episode reviews. For this review, I am reviewing a fan favorite from Season 1. It's called Party of One. I know it's not my birthday, but to anyone else who's watching this, if today is your birthday, then happy birthday to you. Here's a birthday present for you. You know what? Since this episode has a birthday theme to it, I think I should decorate this place a bit. Don't you think? Alright, let's see here. There we go. Okay, now on to the review. So this episode begins with Pinkie Pie going to the homes of each of the other main six, giving them a singing telegram, inviting them to Gummy's birthday party. I love this singing telegram, and I'm going to use it from now on when I invite people to my parties. Although it did kind of surprise me that Pinkie got all tuckered out after doing it. She only had to perform it 5 times. Another thing I liked about this scene was, while she was singing, the other ponies were looking at her like, what the hell? So then we cut to the night of Pinkie's party, or should I say Gummy's party, since it's his birthday. The ponies are having a blast. Another quote I noticed during this scene was Rainbow Dash said, "When Pinkie Pie throws a party, I am so there." That just shows more evidence that she and Pinkie are best friends, which I know was established in an episode that I have not yet reviewed. Now, the dance groove that was played in this episode, I've known it for a long time, but couldn't figure out which episode it was in, but now I can solve the mystery because it was from this episode. So after the party is over, the ponies all go back to their homes, but Pinkie is sad that it's over. She encourages every pony to stay, but they're all too tired. But then Twilight says, we should do this again soon. This gives Pinkie a brilliant idea. So the next day, Pinkie comes by every pony's house and invites them to Gummy's after-birthday party. But all the ponies say they can't make it because they all have other plans. Story of my life. Actually, the ponies are making up excuses for something else, which I'll get into later. Sometime during this montage, we see a scene where Spike is taking out Rarity's garbage, and Spike gets all goo-goo-eyed after Rarity describes in great detail what Spike smelled like after all that. Man, those two really do make a perfect couple. Why doesn't Rarity ever give Spike rides? Is it just because of how ladylike she is? Well, I guess there's always the 4th season, which I'm still not looking forward to. Also, the line Pinkie keeps repeating in the montage sounds a lot like something you'd hear in a children's book. So after every pony declined to Pinkie's invite, Pinkie went home feeling sad, but then she saw Twilight sneaking into Sugar Cube Corner to get something from Mrs. Cake. But she wants to keep it a secret from Pinkie. But Pinkie overhears this, and despite not knowing what Twilight's up to, she's determined to find out. Pinkie follows each pony around Ponyville who are acting really suspicious. And from what she can hear, it sounds to her like the ponies are trying to avoid her. Then somehow Rainbow Dash sees through Pinkie's disguise that she's wearing, and she jets away, but Pinkie keeps catching up with her, trying to get Rainbow to spill the beans. This is kind of a throwback to Griffin the Brush-Off, and that is the episode I was talking about earlier. Pinkie chases Rainbow to Applejack's farm, and Applejack does all she can to keep Pinkie from finding out what they're up to. She says it's construction, but Pinkie keeps trying to peek in, until finally she goes away. So Pinkie decides to go to her last resort, Spike. She tries to get Spike to tell her what's going on. Pinkie has the suspicion that her friends are trying to avoid her and don't want to be her friends anymore. And after doing some random talking about life, the ponies, and making weird confessions, Spike just says what Pinkie is expecting to hear just to get her to stop peer pressuring him. This causes Pinkie's hair to deflate and get all sad, and thus the fan favorite spectrum of this episode takes effect. So Pinkie decides to host her own party and have these inanimate objects be her party guests and providing the voices for them. This is where Pinkie has totally flipped. Just then Rainbow Dash comes in and invites Pinkie back to the barn, but Pinkie refuses to go, and after much deliberation, Rainbow drags Pinkie over there by force. it turns out the other main ponies have thrown a surprise party for Pinkie. Pinkie is still mad because of how her friends treated her that day, and she assumed this party was her going away party because she thought they hated her. But the ponies explain that they were planning this surprise party for Pinkie for a long time because it was her birthday. This brings Pinkie Pie back to her normal self, and the party begins. Okay, so apparently Gummy was born just one day before Pinkie Pie's birthday. Makes a lot of sense. So, final verdict, this was a pretty good episode. It's not one of my favorites, but it's not bad. It's not a bad episode either. Although, much like a dog and pony show, this episode does tend to drag, which makes you keep asking yourself when it's going to end. The reason this episode is such a fan favorite to a lot of people is because, for some reason, a lot of bronies love to see the ponies flip out and go crazy. Speaking of which, the next episode I'm planning on reviewing shows another example of a pony going crazy. The famous and infamous episode, Lesson 0. I know I got a request for another episode earlier, and I'm sorry about that, but I'll get to that one next. I pinky promise. So, I guess there's really nothing else left to say, but Powerpup 97 away.